after exploring perilous dungeons, defeating hordes of monsters, and plundering legendary treasures, any dungeoneer needs some fresh air. So this week, we will craft our wilderness modular tiles. Welcome back on the MDM channel. Before to start talking about our weekly project, I would like to spend a few words regarding one of the coolest and fun old-school dungeon crawler game of the last decades, League of Dungeoneers. The game is on Kickstarter right now. I'll leave you the link in the box description below. And it was founded in less than 1 hour. 1 hour. A really good signal about the success on the web communities that the author, Michael Lundstedt, deserves for his little gem. The game is a well-balanced mix of different old-school tabletop games like Warhammer Quest 95 edition, with a lot of new and original ideas, including a travel system and wilderness encounters that adds a generous, spicy note to the entire game. Of course, the core game is based on dungeon crawling, so now you can understand better my last 7 videos about the Kraken Fantasy dungeon tiles and modular dungeon tiles in general. In my actual Dungeoneer campaign, I needed some wilderness modular tiles where to set my encounters. So, before to start talking about this project, don't forget to take a look to the League of Dungeoneers Kickstarter page. As I said before, I will leave you the link in the box description below. But now, stop talking and let's get in action.
This is the beta version of the League of Dungeoneers game. It was called Dungeoneers. You can download it for just a few bucks on boardgamegeek.com. For this project I used an XPS foam board of 2 cm thick. Using my carpentry ruler I start drawing the cutting lines. The measures that I used are in line with the League of Dungeoneers tiles. Of course, you can use any measure you need. Remember to use a new blade for your utility knife before starting to cut your XPS foam, and be careful. With a Sharpie, I trace the irregular line for the internal cut. You will better understand in a while. Now we move on our Proxon hot wire cutter, if you have one. If not, you can just use your utility knife. We have to create the slope of our tile using our Endo hot wire cutter. Once again, if you don't have one, you can use your utility knife. Just pay attention to the position of your hands. Be sure that your dominant hand with which you will cut the foam is directed in the opposite direction to the hand with which you will be holding the piece to be cut. I saved a few cork sheets from some old IKEA frames. You know that I don't like to waste material, but you can use cardboard if you prefer. It's up to you. Now bonding the 2 pieces together with the help of your hot glue gun. Again, grab your ruler and trace the cutting lines. This is one of the little mistakes that I made during this project. It will be much more easier if you will cut the pieces before bonding it together. Now we are arrived to the messy part. I've used the garbage bag on my workbench. I grab almost a coffee mug, fill it with hydrostone or plaster, pouring on it a little bit of water in order to get the consistency of the Greek yogurt. I also add in more texture using some little stones and sand. With the spatula, I spread the compound in an irregular way, making sure not to go out from the edges of the tile. Once the compound is dried, almost after 30-40 minutes, I applied a generous layer of wood glue, the 30% diluted with water. I've added more texture using some stone, sands and dirt. Now get yourself a good protective mask. We will use some spray cans. Unfortunately for now I don't have a ventilation system in my workspace and I don't have a private garden. But if you can go outside or on your porch spraying your tiles on the fresh air. As you can see, I've used some grey tones for the stones and brown for the planes. I've also used some military green here and there. In my scattered terrain collection, I have these old notch trees. They are used on trains, modeling and stuff like this. They are very cheap and you will find it on Amazon for sure. I'll leave you the link in the description box below. At the time, I used some citadel bases for my trees, but now I need to remove the bases because I would like to give them a much more natural look, cohesive with the tiles that we are crafting. So I bond the trees to a little piece of cork sheet with my hot glue. For now, I don't have a static grass applicator, so I've used my hands to sprinkle here and there some static grass. On the first layer, remember to apply the static grass on the green color that you applied before with your spray cans. You will need two different kinds of static grass. The first one, it will be a little bit more softer and probably darker. The second one, it will be a little more spongy and light. Applying both layers with some wood glue, you should get a quite good realistic effect. Now sprinkle some sawdust on the third final layer. We will add details to our ground. They will look like dry leaves. This is another little error that I made during the project. It would be much more easier if you dry brush the stone before applying the static grass. but if you use a little bit more attention and a small brush, you'll be fine. Dry brushing with light gray and white color the stones, even the one that you applied on the tree bases. With my mud and dirt technique that you can find in my previous videos, you should obtain a quite realistic effect. We are done. The last step is just painting the side of our tiles. I choose the black color, but you can choose any color that you prefer. I suggest you to stay around the gray, the black and the brown scale.
I really hope that you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching and don't forget to hit the like button. Please subscribe and leave a comment or questions in the box below. Alright, see you in the next. Ciao!